This is the first dialogue between J. Krishnamurti and D.Bohm, which includes Dr. Parshere, at Brockwood Park, 1975.
You're the intimidators.
Well, let's say we're the representatives of the others. They'd all like to react.
Are we ready to start?
Yes, a little.
We have a rest.
How shall we start this thing? Shall we plunge into it?
I hope so. Do you want to start it?
All right, sir. See, while I was in California, at Ohio, I was thinking about this question. What is truth and what is reality? Have they any relationship? Or are they separate? Eternally divorced? Or are they projections of thought? And if thought didn't operate, would there be reality?
Yes.
All that's in thought. I thought that reality, as one knows, comes from the race thing, and anything that thought operates on or fabricates or reflects about is reality. A distortion of reality, thought thinking in a distorted, conditioned manner, is illusion, is deception, is distortion. I left it there because one can. I didn't want to. I wanted to let it come rather than my pursuing it. I left it there.
Well, you want to pursue it further now?
Yes, rather, that's why.
Well, yes, of course.
We talked about it with the analysts and the
Yes, I heard it on the tape, actually.
Oh, you've got the tape.
Well, we got a copy from George.
And there's the Dr. You've seen the Swinburne has written that. Now, it's your turn. You're the floor.
Yes, well, it's and of course the question of thought and reality and truth, has occupied philosophers over thousands of years. It's a very difficult one. For example, I think that what you say is true. And basically, but it has a lot of points to be ironed out.
Of course.
Now,
you see, in Sanskrit, I wish there was a Sanskrit scholar here. Dr. Parshere is a Sanskrit scholar. I think they would interpret it probably in a different way. I'm not quite sure.
No. Yes. Well, do you know anything of the Sanskrit word for true and real? Is there any similar?
I think, yes, I do, but I may misquote it. I don't want to enter into it.
No.
Satyam is truth.
Yes.
I don't know what is reality. Could we ask him? Not you. Do you think it's worth having Dr. Parshere?
Shall I go down and find him?
What do you think?
Well, it's hard.
It'd be interesting.
Ask him. I don't care.
Well,
let's ask him, shall we? All right. I don't know if you could. feeling this matter,
Mm-hmm.
that not having read
Yes.
philosophy is a tremendous advantage. Because then you can start as though you know nothing and begin to inquire. But if one begins to translate in Sanskrit and what the Sanskrit scholars talk about it, and the Latin scholars and the philosophers and all the rest of it, then we get lost.
Well, let's say you see, one of the questions that arises is if we say reality is thought, or what thought thinks about, or really, I would have extended to say reality is something reflected in consciousness. I don't know what you think of that. To say it goes beyond.
Are the contents of consciousness reality?
That's the question. Yes.
Yes, that's what. Yes.
And now thought, we can use thought as equivalent to consciousness, as the basic form.
Basic form, yes.
But it should include, just for the sake of completeness, feeling and desire and will and reaction and so on. As I feel that it's that if we thought that we're exploring the connection between reality and consciousness and truth.
Would you separate consciousness with its content, reality and truth, the three things?
The three things. And I think that I would agree that truth goes beyond the other two.
Other two, yes.
And it has been, although we needn't tie ourselves down to what philosophers have done, it has been an old question for philosophers as to what is the relation
this has been a question, has
it? A very long-standing question.
How do they answer it?
Well, hundreds of ways.
We
might bring up one or two of the ways as we go along, but philosophers have argued about this in any number of ways. Now, but one of the points I would like to bring up is, you see, we think there's the thought, or there's our consciousness, and there's the thing of which we are conscious. And even you have often said, the thought is not the thing.
Yes, quite.
And we have to get it clear, because in some sense, the thing has some kind of reality independent of thought. We can't go so far as to deny all that.
Yeah, quite.
And now, some philosophy, as we know, in some sense, people like Bishop Berkeley have said it is all mind. People have taken every possible position.
Every possible position, quite.
Now, I thought of a distinction that would be useful between that reality which is largely created by our own thought or by the thought of mankind, and that reality which you can regard as independent, existing independently of that thought. For example, would you say nature is real?
It is, yes.
And it is not just our own thoughts?
No, obviously not. A tree...
a tree, or the whole earth, the stars,
and of course cosmos and the whole thing. Pain is real.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking that illusion is real, in the sense that it is really something going on. A person in a state of illusion is something.
To him it is real.
To him it is real, but there really is also, to us it is real, because his brain is in a certain state of electrical, chemical movement, and he acts from his illusion in a real way.
Yes, in a real way. A distorted way.
Distorted but real.
Real, quite.
Now, it occurred to me that one could say that even the false is real, but not true.
I understand.
You see that this was the thing which seemed might be important. That
you see, take for instance, I don't know. Is Christ real?
Yes, well, he is real, certainly in the minds of people who believe in him in the sense we have been talking.
Yes. who created him.
Who created him? Besides, there may have been a real person who.
Jesus,
Jesus, yeah.
Even that there is a doubt about
There's
all that
doubt,
business. Jesus was real, a human.
Yes,
If one believed it existed, and the thought created Christ.
Yes.
Then Christ is an illusion.
Yes, but at the same time, the illusion is a real
thing to the man who.
And also to the people who must suffer the actions of that man.
Of course. You see, that's what I mean. The Buddha, as a person, there was historically existent proof and all the rest of it. It was real. What he said outside the field of thought is truth.
Yes.
Got him?
No.
You can have my chair. No, get a chair, please. Get a chair. Simpler, quicker.
We're out of chairs. Come. Please.
You can have my chair out of my.
I don't want
No,
your
it's
chair.
bad for you.
This is much more.
No Sanskrit word. We want to find out the distinction between truth and reality. We said, may I repeat what we said? We said anything that thought thinks about, whether unreasonably or reasonably, is a reality. It may be distorted or reasoned clearly, it is still a reality. That reality has nothing to do with truth. Now we want to know in Sanskrit what if there is such a difference.
There is.
There is. Then what is reality in Sanskrit?
This the idea that you are wanting to represent to the word reality is brought out in literature as Maya.
Maya. Maya means illusion.
Yes, but it appears like truth. Therefore it is called Maya.
So Ma means also to measure.
No, that this word doesn't arise from that.
Many people have said so.
That is why they have all the time been saying that the world is a dream. But while you are in the dream, you take it as truth.
As real?
Yes.
Not as truth.
As real.
As real.
While you are in the dream, so that idea is represented by the word Maya. That we live in a state of Maya. Taking all the time the unreal as real.
As real.
And what is truth then?
What is truth?
Truth, that is Satyam.
Satyam, that's what. What is the relationship between Satyam and Maya? Maya, in the sense we are using it.
Yes. Satyam is negative.
Is?
Negative.
Negative.
When the cloud of Maya disappears, what remains is Satyam.
Same thing. Then what is the difference between Ma, to measure, and Maya?
Now, the word Ma that you are using is in many other words. I don't think I know the root of Maya, where the word has arisen.
What is, you don't know?
I don't know.
See, in the sense you are using Maya, an illusion which is taken for reality.
Yes. For reality, what you explained today.
Yes.
Yes.
That is reality.
Which is the opposite of what you first think. You don't see the truth at all, and therefore what appears to you is the projection only which you call as reality.
Yeah. And do they say the relationship between truth
Yes.
and Maya? There is no relationship between the two.
No
That's what
relationship.
we're coming to
Yes,
say.
but is Maya then the same word as reality?
That's
in
why
English?
they have described at 4 stages of human existence as wakefulness, sleep, dream, and that stage where that Maya is over. Turiya also. Turiya.
So let's continue. You don't mind if we go on?
Yes, sir.
Listen to it. And if so, I'm ignorant of Sanskrit. I know a little bit. Every Brahmin knows a little bit, but I'm out of it all. And he doesn't know Sanskrit either. So what we are trying to find out is what is reality.
I do not understand why do you call it a reality when it is not real.
A tree is a reality. Nature is a reality. A whale in the sea is a reality.
Yes, but you are calling reality to the opposite of what is true.
I disassociate truth from reality. Not I mean.
No, you are calling violence as reality.
When I
Or non-violence as reality. Violence as truth.
Yeah. No,
Not even that is not the opposite of it. That's right.
Violence is a reality.
Yes.
Because you hit me.
Yes, yes.
And
That
that
both the opposites are reality.
That's
It's not that one is reality and other is the opposite of it.
That's what we come. Yeah. Right, sir? No, the opposite is not a reality. It's an illusion
Of truth.
not of
No,
truth.
Not of truth.
I am violent, which is a fact. You hit me, I hit you.
So where does the discrimination come between a fact and truth?
Between a fact and truth. Ask him. Pump him a little bit. What I think about
Well,
it.
perhaps.
Not think about it,
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
See, the question of fact is another question. It's related, but see, the fact is what is made, literally speaking, what is done. See, that which actually happens.
So that's what I want. Fact means that which is done.
Yes, that which actually happens.
Actually happens.
Now, that is not
You
the same
follow?
as truth. Yes, you see, you see, I think that if we distinguish between reality and truth,
Is it the content of the fact truth?
You discuss. He's saying something. Just
you see, if we distinguish between reality and truth, we can no longer say that a certain content is the truth about the thing. Do you see, about something? You see that because the content may be real or unreal. You see, it's a different way of using language than the ordinary way, which is being proposed, right?
Yes.
Now, in the ordinary way of talking, we may say this is the truth about that thing, right?
Oh yes, in the ordinary way, this is the
Yes,
truth about that
thing. But
yes.
now we should really say this is correct information about that thing. You
Yes.
see. But truth, I think, is now something which is in an entirely different order.
Dimension, order,
Yeah.
yes.
And now we're saying that illusion is a kind of reality because it is something it is a fact. It is actually taking place in the person's brain.
Is reality a fact?
Yes. A tree is a fact.
Yes.
I hit you. It's a fact. And you hit me back. It's a fact. And therefore it's real.
So by equation, if reality is a fact has
Look,
truth.
we must understand what we mean by fact.
Yeah.
Fact means, according to dictionary, that which is done.
Yes.
or that which has happened, or
Yes.
that which will do. Fact.
Then arising from what has happened, we deduce reality.
No, be careful. No.
I hit you, and
go
you call
slow.
that as a fact, and we call it as violence, which is the reality. Arising out of this act of hitting has arisen the reality of violence.
What I don't understand. Do you understand what he's saying? No.
You give me a happening, an instance, an event.
No, we said fact is something that is being done,
Yes.
right? That's all.
Or that actually happens.
Or actually happening.
Yes.
Now, the reality is...
You name that happening.
Wait, listen slowly.
Yes.
The reality is the thing. Now, it's a different way of sensing it. You see, I can describe a fact, or say it is something actually happening. Now, if we say it's real, we see it as a thing, you see, that which stands independently of thought. You see, that's how... You see, suppose you're walking on a dark road, you may see something. It may be real, it may not be real. You feel it's real one moment, and the next moment it's not real. And I think we're using words to say that when there is a thing, we say that thing is real, or it may be illusory, unreal. The fact is the actual act. That's what the dictionary says. It's something which is actual,
Which is actual,
which is
yeah.
done.
Can I say that the sensual impression that one gets is real?
Yes, how is?
At hearing, seeing, touching, you see something, you hear something, that is a
Don't
fact.
reduce it yet to details. Don't reduce it to examples, details. First, let's get the broad outline. We are saying that anything that thought thinks about, or reflects upon, or projects, that is
That's
reality.
real.
And that reality has nothing to do with truth.
With truth.
The two are eternally separate.
But has
You
it anything
can't
to
wait.
do with
You
fact?
can't come from reality to truth.
Right.
No.
No, but I am saying-
no, sir. Do listen a minute. Find out. You see, the Hindu, when you say the Hindu scholars or whatever they are, say remove the illusion Maya, then reality is.
Well, this implies something very different. you
I'm
see.
ready. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the point that you could say that, suppose we say that the Hindu philosophy is that Maya is illusion, it's not the real thing, right? Therefore, it implies that when you remove that, you will have the real
Real
thing.
thing.
But we're saying there is no real thing.
No, they don't say that it
Right.
is not real thing, because as long as Maya is there,
Yeah.
whatever appears is real.
Yes, but then when you remove Maya, if Maya is illusion, that implies
Yes, but
that when
in
you
Maya you don't know that you are see what you are seeing is real or unreal. You
Yeah.
take it as real.
Yes, but
No. Go further, sir. Go move.
It's the question of...
But I understand this, that from Maya or from reality you cannot come to truth, because
No. I can remove Maya by whatever means.
by thought.
Wait, no, by whatever means. We won't use. Reality truth may not exist.
Then reality has not gone.
Therefore, I must be very. It is not a question of removing.
Huh.
Seeing reality, it's where it belongs. That's the art of seeing. Would you agree, sir? The art of seeing is to place reality where it is. and not move that in order to get truth. You can't get truth. I don't know. You can't move from here to there and say that, call that truth. Am I?
You are saying the art of seeing, but that state of mind which has that art, in what state is that?
It just sees. I just see those birds on the wall. And I know that is created by thought. Because those birds are painted, they are wallpaper, but they are the product of thought. It's real. I can't call that illusion. Any more than I can call you are hitting me violence. It is violence. It's a reality, not an illusion. Right, sir? I want to. This point, sir, to go with point, can I move from reality to truth? Or there is no movement. Movement means time, movement means all that. So is there a stop to time, which is thought? I don't know if am I going all right?
Yeah, well, maybe we're,
yeah, that's a little bit slow. Yeah.
But you see, the thing is, if we come back to reality, which is the thing, and you see, the thing is the root of the word thing is fundamentally is the same as in German bedingen, to condition, to set the conditions or determine. See, a thing is necessarily conditioned.
Yes.
And any form of reality
is conditioned.
Is conditioned. Now,
let's accept that.
This is a key point. You see.
Key point. What is that say?
Any form of reality is conditioned.
Is conditioned.
Right.
That's what we were saying.
That's
in
right.
fact, this
the illusion is still a form of reality which is conditioned. Because the distortion is real. There will be, for example, the man's blood has a different constitution if he's not in a balanced state when he's distorting and maybe too excited. And so everything is determined by conditions, and it also conditions every other thing.
Yes, quite.
See, so all things are interrelated in a web of mutual conditioning, which we could call influence. You see, everything influences everything. In physics, that's very clear. The planets all influence each other, the atoms influence each other. And I wanted to suggest that maybe we could think of our thought and consciousness as part of this whole chain of influence.
Yes, quite right.
So that the whole everything can influence consciousness, and it can work back and influence things.
Yes,
it can make shapes on things, make objects. And in fact, then you could say that this is all reality. That therefore, thought is also real.
Thought is real, quite.
And it is one part of reality influencing another part of reality.
One part of illusion influences the other part of illusion.
Yes,
quite.
But now we have to be careful because we can say there is that reality which is not made by man or not by mankind, but that's still limited because you see the cosmos, for example, as seen by us, is still
limited,
influenced by our own thinking,
by our own kind
and our own experience, and everything that we see it through our own experience, through our own background. right? So that the reality is not totally, it cannot possibly be totally independent of man. You see, in other words,
No.
it may be relatively independent.
Yes,
I say
quite.
the tree is relatively independent, but it's me that abstracts the tree. You see.
Are you saying that man's reality
Yeah.
is the product of influence and conditioning
Yes, mutual
and
reaction.
reaction, and all his illusions are also
Yes,
his product.
yes, they're all together,
All,
inseparable.
yes. And then, what is the difference between a sane, rational, healthy,
Yes.
holy man, holy man, to reality and to truth?
Yes. And I think that, I was going to look at this question of truth. I looked at it a bit, and see I think the derivation of words is very useful there. That the word true in Latin, which is veros, means that which is.
Which is
the
correct.
same as the English was and were, and the German war. And there may be a Sanskrit word, I don't know, but
You can ask him, we'll tell you.
uh,
What is the Sanskrit word to what is?
Sat.
Sat. That's
Sat,
it.
right. Well, anyway, truth is the same idea then.
Yes,
Sat,
you
what
see,
is it?
sir,
Sat,
it's satyam, sat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the same notion as in Latin. Now in English, the word true means honest and faithful, Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
I thought the two notions go together.
Yeah.
You see, we can often say that a line is true or a machine is true. See, like there was a story I read which had a title, "The Thread That Ran So True," where it was using the image of the spinning wheel with the thread running straight.
Straight, quite.
And now we could say that our thought or our consciousness is true to that which is, if it is running straight. You see, if the man is sane and healthy, right? And otherwise it is not. You see,
Quite.
otherwise it is false. So the falseness of consciousness is not just wrong information, but it is actually running falsely as a reality.
Quite. I understand, yeah. So you're saying, as long as man is sane, healthy, whole, holy,
Yeah.
and rational, his thread is always straight.
Yes, his consciousness is on a straight thread,
Yeah.
you see. And therefore his reality,
So his reality is different from the reality of a man whose thread is crooked.
very different.
Yes. Who is irrational, who is neurotic,
Yeah,
and
perhaps even insane.
insane.
You can see with insane people how different it is. They cannot even sometimes see the same reality at all. You know?
Yeah. And the same healthy, holy man, his relationship to truth.
Yes. Well, you see, if you come to the meaning of the word again, I think it's the clue, because if you say truth is that which is, as well as being true to that which is, then you would have to say that he is, that which is, in other words, that what people intend by the word the whole of reality is actually comprehended in the word truth.
Yes.
You see it.
So would you say the man who said holy is truth?
He is truth, yes.
And
Or
that's-
I have another way of putting it, he is of the truth. I don't know if you like that better. Would you say he is truth or he is of the truth? I mean, like
Quite.
the water, the drop of water is of the ocean. It's the same quality.
It's the same quality, quite.
I don't know which usage is better.
So you understand in Sanskrit, they've got this in Sanskrit, I'm pretty
Right.
sure. You understand the question?
Yes.
The man who is rational, sane, healthy, whole, not fragmented, and therefore holy, because he is that is truth. Or is a part of it. which means, can truth be divided?
Well, it's not a division, you see. Would you say he is, you see, like we say the whole truth?
No.
Yeah.
If you, that's a colloquial term, the whole
Right.
truth and the swear by God and all the rest of it. But if that man has this straight thread,
Yes.
he is the whole. He is not fragment.
I didn't mean to say it was fragmented, but you see, I wanted to try to put to suggest something like this, that, see, if we are to think, let's say, of the cosmos, the whole of reality, but we say that is really nothing, you see, that is still thought. I mean, that is, it may be something, but it's conditioned, because whatever we think of must be conditioned.
That's right.
Therefore,
So thought is conditioned, therefore whatever we think of
is conditioned. Now I say truth, it must be unconditioned.
Yes.
And I think everybody feels that.
Yes.
Now then, whatever we would have meant by the whole of the cosmos must be meant by truth.
Yes.
You see, the truth, I say, is not only what we usually mean by it, but it is also the very substance which underlies what we call reality.
Quite.
And I see
Yeah.
what is that.
You see, sir, may I ask him? The Hindus talk about samadhi. Samadhi being not trance. I don't mean trance or all those tricks they're playing, but reaching a state where your direct mind is that Brahman. When that mind is that is truth. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That is Samadhi's definition.
That is samadhi. Now, are we saying the same thing?
Well, I should think so. Yes,
I would like to clarify here that when you take a person as holy, sane, rational,
And holy.
and yes, whole,
No, holy. Holy.
yes,
Sacred.
yes. So he is in reality.
no,
You see?
no, it's the other way around.
The other way around.
The reality is in him.
He can. No,
Well, he comprehends reality.
Yeah. You see,
He
sir.
is unfragmented. So
No,
the thought
no. You must get the picture right. You haven't got the picture right. A man who is rational, sane, which means healthy, which means holy, whole, which is Brahman, whole. And such a man is truth.
No, you asked the question.
Wait, no. We said such man is truth, not of truth, not belonging to truth, or lives in truth. He is that, because that which is truth. Right, sir?
Yeah.
But your question was, you asked him first, that what is the relation of such a man with reality and with truth?
Yes.
So,
I put a wrong question.
because if you
I
ask
put it wrong.
relationship with truth, that means you establish duality.
I put a wrong question. Such a man is truth. And he may think certain things which will be reality. But he is truth. He can't think irrationally.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that. I'd say that he can make a mistake, but
Of course.
but he doesn't persist in it. You see that in other words,
Yes, sir, quite right.
that there's the difference between the man who has made a mistake and can
And acknowledges it, changes it.
and there's the man who has made a mistake, but his
Keeps-
mind is not running true, and therefore he twists it out. Well, But we have to come back to this question. You see, if we say nature is real, and it seems to imply that the truth must go beyond this man. Do you see? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Yes,
it
sir.
includes other men, and it includes nature, right?
Includes everything that is.
All that is, yes.
Yeah.
So the truth is one.
That's why Satyameva, you see.
Right.
So to a person who is truth, to him reality is also truth. There is no say.
No, wait, no, be careful, no. This becomes difficult.
You see, reality is always conditioned. And the
No,
man,
he sees.
he sees the condition.
And it's
No, sir, look. You explain, sir.
See, this man, he sees all the things in reality, and each thing is conditioned. The whole of reality is conditioned. The truth of this is that it is conditioned.
but there is no conditioning for him.
No, but
So
there is
how does he see?
no, it's not so.
No.
All things are conditioned. He is not conditioned.
Yes.
But all things remain conditioned. See, this table depends on conditions of temperature and pressure and many other conditions. The body depends on conditions to exist. You see, everything influences everything. That remains a fact. The mutual influence of everything on everything is a fact. But this man sees the truth of that fact.
What is his relation to the reality?
He's explaining, sir.
He comprehends reality.
Yes, he comprehends reality. That is, sir, he may say something which is mistaken and sees it's a mistake and changes it, doesn't pursue it, where an irrational man doesn't know it's a mistake. Even if he is told it's a mistake, he insists on pursuing that.
He comprehends this.
Comprehends.
Yes, and really exactly what the word says, to hold it all together, you see.
Comprehend. Hold together.
Now,
He comprehends reality.
That's right.
He doesn't separate.
Yes, because
Wait, sir. He doesn't separate reality. He says, I comprehend it. I hold it. I see. I see it.
yes, it's all one reality, himself and everything. But it has things in it which are conditioned, and he comprehends the conditions.
And because he comprehends conditioning, he's free of conditioning. Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
But you see, I think it's important, to get straight. See, the question of objective reality,
Yeah, objective.
because that has been one of the most frequently discussed points over the ages. And
What is that, sir?
well, now there's the notion. See, let me put the notion, which wouldn't agree with the notion we have just said right now. But the idea is that the world consists of the whole of objective reality. Objective means that it stands independently and total, right? And that we are part of it. You see you see the view.
I understand.
Now,
We are part
of objective
of
reality. Now, the view about truth does not. If we say, then we say that the mind knows the truth about objective reality in that view, right?
Yes.
And therefore, if we knew the whole of the truth about if we knew all about objective reality, we would have the truth, the whole truth.
Quite. Quite.
No. And therefore, it would be up to us to get more and more knowledge of objective reality. And a great deal of that spirit is behind the scientific modern, approach.
Yes.
Now, some person who held that view might criticize this view as saying that, that you are making reality, that nature depend on us. It doesn't make sense. That's the kind of.
I don't hold to anything. Suppose
Yes.
I don't hold to anything.
Right, but then how do you suppose such a man comes along? I will represent him.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you say?
As I don't hold to anything, I only see that thought being conditioned, whatever it thinks about is conditioned, therefore it's a reality.
Yes.
And so it's a reality. That's all he states. And truth is independent, not influence all the rest of it.
In that sense, truth is absolute.
Absolutely, that's right.
But in the other sense, there's no absolute knowledge of the of reality.
No, of reality. You can learn more and more and more and more.
And much of it may be wrong. And
Of course.
Yes.
That's all I know.
Yes, and I think if we could say that this notion of objective reality cannot stand up in the sense that all that we know is reality as it is for us.
Yes.
You see, there may be more reality, but we could learn some more. But it's intrinsic in the notion of any object that it is an object for a subject.
Yes, quite.
And
would you say knowledge is a reality?
That's true, yes.
And that knowledge is not truth.
Yes, I mean, knowledge is part of reality.
Yes, yes.
Knowledge, its base in reality is in our brains. It's, some scientists say that chemicals are deposited in the brain which contain the memory,
Yes.
or there may be another process.
Yes.
But it seems clear that knowledge is actually a part of reality.
Part of reality.
I mean, now,
sir, another question. I am a scholar. Suppose I am a scholar. I am full of knowledge. How am I to comprehend, in that sense, hold together truth?
well, I don't think you can comprehend truth. I mean,
Therefore, what am I? You see, I have studied all my life. I've devoted all my life to knowledge, which is a reality.
yes, and it is also about a bigger reality.
About a bigger reality, and so on, so on, so on. And you come along and say that is not, that truth is somewhere else.
Yes.
It's not that. My instinct is, right, I accept you. Because you show me. So I say, please help me to move from here to that.
Yes.
Because once I get that, I comprehend this. If I live here, then my comprehension is always fragmented.
Yes.
Therefore, my knowledge says to me, for God's sake, this is a reality, but it's not truth. And you come along and say, yes, I can. It is not. And please tell me how to move from here to that.
Well, we just said that we can't move. I mean,
I'm using a quick word.
Yeah.
What am I to do?
Well, I think I have to see the falseness of this whole structure of knowledge.
So, the content of my consciousness is knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
How am I to empty that consciousness and yet retain knowledge, otherwise I couldn't function, and reach a state or whatever it is which will comprehend reality? I don't know if I'm... Because after all, that's man is trying to do that all the time.
Yes. Well, but you see, the point that's implied here is that knowledge includes time.
Of course.
And
how am I to put a stop to time?
Yes. That knowledge is itself time, because psychological time.
Of course.
And therefore, as long as I'm in knowledge, I'm moving from one form of knowledge to another. Now, you see,
the Hindus have worked out cleverly. They say, yes, tread that path and you will get it.
No, sir.
I must be, yes, you correct me.
They have realized this, as you said, that they are in reality, and they see through the fragmentary structure of their mind that this is reality. And when you ask the question, how am I to move? They ask, how am I to enlighten or liberate or something? Then they say that while you are a part of this, you cannot see this.
Yes, I understand.
As long as you fragment.
How am I to get out of it?
So they say that you exist by a sakshi.
By
Sakshi.
what does that mean?
Sakshi means you become an outsider.
Observer.
Observer.
To look at it from the outside.
That
You follow the trick they play all this.
so if you are in it,
You can't see.
you can't see.
Therefore go outside it.
You are not mind, you are not body. So you are not all that these two create.
Yeah. You see, sir? No, you see, I have worked always with knowledge. That has been my field. And you come along, tell me, knowledge is always a movement in time. Knowledge is always conditioned, fragmented. And knowledge is always within the area of time and thought. That's obvious. And I realized that. Now I say to myself, I must find truth, which will then comprehend knowledge.
Now, how do you know?
Wait, of course.
The moment you say that...
No, I know it because I realize this is fragment. As long as I'm living in a fragment, I cannot comprehend anything. I cannot hold anything.
Then you may project.
No, I don't project. I realize this. I realize that window is not the door. Which doesn't mean I project it. Oh, am I right?
I use the word realize, which means to bring it to reality.
To reality.
And you see, the crucial thing is something you do in reality, which will end the reality not running true. And you see, since there's nothing you can do about truth.
No, you can't do anything about truth.
Now,
you see, that is the whole point.
But there is something that can be done about reality, perhaps.
Yes.
Now, the way I would see it is like this: that reality is not running true. It's mixed with illusion. It has some, maybe some things right, some things wrong. It's not all wrong. Now, if I come to this notion of reflection, which saying that consciousness is a reflection, right?
Of what?
Well, that's the question, you see.
You
see, if we said it was a reflection of reality, which is what people usually say, we would be going around a circle. Now, I want to propose, I see what you think of it, of another kind of reflection. You see, if you take a mirror, the light comes from the object and it's bent by the mirror into your eye. Now that's external reflection. But the ancient peoples very often had the idea that light came from the eye and came back.
Yes.
You see, and in fact, for the bat, sound comes from the bat. For the dolphin, so he sees the world. He sees as a reflection of himself, right? And or not himself, but an energy. And so I want to say that our perception of reality is our experience. When I say we experience reality, we don't. I wanted to suggest it is of that nature that we act, and the reflection of the action gives rise to an image, which is consciousness. You see, the reflection may be from the outside. You see, if you act and touch something and handle it, and the reflection gives it the sense of reality, you see. Or it may reflect back from something inside, from the memory or from...
So that is clear. But what I'm asking, to further it along, my consciousness, human consciousness, is its content, which is knowledge, and irrational knowledge, all the rest of it. It's a messy conglomeration
of. This leads to some confused reflection.
Yes. And can that consciousness comprehend or bring into it truth?
No,
it can't. Therefore, can this go to that?
Well,
it can't either.
No.
Then what? Because this has been the religious...
What truth... there can be a perception of the truth of consciousness, this falseness in consciousness.
What's that?
See, the consciousness is false in the sense it does not run true. Right?
Consciousness is false because it does not run
true. Because of the confused content, it does not run true.
Contradictory. Yes,
it muddles things up.
Yes.
See. Now, I think
it's not muddled things up. It is a muddle.
It is a muddle, yes, and the way it moves. Now, then, one of the main points of the muddle is that when consciousness reflects on itself.
Yes.
And as I see it, the reflection has this character that it's as if there were a mirror that consciousness was looking at itself through a mirror, and the mirror were reflecting consciousness as if it were not consciousness, but an independent reality.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
Now, therefore, the action which consciousness takes is wrong because it tries to improve that independent reality, and in fact it destroys its own action. Now,
see, all that is Maya.
Yes. Now, you see, when you see that, then what happens is that I would like to put it that the whole of consciousness, or reflection, is somehow is an instrument, let's say, which is connected up to the energy of the deeper energy, right? Now, as long as the consciousness is connected, in that way, then it is fed energy and maintains this Maya, right?
Yeah.
Now, so on seeing that this consciousness is reflecting itself wrongly as independent of thought, therefore what is needed is to disconnect the energy from consciousness. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand now.
The whole of consciousness has to be disconnected, so it would, as it were, lie there without energy.
You're saying, don't feed it.
Yes.
And let me, my own way I'm putting it. My consciousness is a muddle.
Yes.
Confused, contradictory, and all the rest of it. And its very contradiction, its very muddle, gives its own energy.
Well, the energy is really coming not from consciousness, but consciousness, as long as the energy is coming, consciousness keeps the muddle going, do you see?
From where does it come?
Well, we would have to say that, I would say that perhaps it comes from something deeper, I don't know, you see.
Which means, wait a minute, I want this, leads us through complications.
All right.
If it comes from something deeper, it is universal, whatever it is, from truth.
Yes.
Right?
Well, that's what it is.
That's just it.
It isn't truth yet, you see that.
That's just it. If it comes from something from deeper, then we enter into whole field of gods and outside agency and truth and...
No, I would say it comes from... I could say it comes from me in some sense, you see.
From you?
Yeah.
The me is this consciousness.
Yeah.
So the content is creating its own energy. Would you...
Well, in some sense, yeah, but you see, it must be impossible for this content to create its own energy. You would see, that would say that reality was able to create its own energy.
Which is the content.
Yes, it is. But
so it is creating its own energy.
Yes.
So, look, I'm in contradiction.
Yes.
And that very contradiction gives me vitality.
Yes, well, when
this in ordinary sense doesn't make
sense.
Yes.
No, wait. I have got opposing desires. Opposing desires. When I have opposing desires, I have energy. I fight.
You don't have to have opposing desires. Desire is energy.
Yes, desire is energy. But when it is made opposite,
then only you
dissipate
energy.
energy. So, my content of my consciousness is desire, with all its contradictions.
Yes.
Therefore, that desire is creating the energy, not God is creating the energy. Or something profound that unconscious desires are created. It is still desire. I don't know if I'm... Because this is a trick that we've all played. If they say there is an outside agency, deeper energy, etc., etc., then I'm back into the old field. But if I realize the energy of contradiction, energy of desire, energy of will, energy of pursuit of pleasure, fear, all that energy, which is knowledge, which is content of my consciousness, which is consciousness, it is creating its own energy. Reality is this. Reality is creating its energy. It may say, I derive my energy deep down, but it's a reality.
Yes, well, suppose we accept that, but the point is that in truth, seeing the truth of this...
That's what I want. Is this energy, that's what I want to get at, is this energy different from the energy of truth? It is different.
Yes, but let's try to put it, and reality may have, let's try to even say reality may have many levels of energy.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But a certain part of the energy has gone off the straight line.
Yes, yes.
And if that part of the energy is withdrawn, so even if we say that, let's say the brain is a reality and it feeds energy to all the thought process, which is another reality.
Yes, quite.
And now, if somehow the brain did not feed energy to the thought, to the confused thought process, then the thing might just straighten out.
That's it.
Right.
If this energy runs along the thread, it is a reality without contradiction. It's a reality. It's a energy which is endless, because it has no friction. It has etc. etc. Now, that energy is different from the energy of truth.
Yes.
Well, we are getting on, sir.
Yes, although they're different, but as we once discussed, there must be a deeper common source. But
I'm not sure. I'm just questioning.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They both spring out of the same root.
Yeah, that's what I suggest. But for the moment, there's the energy of truth which can comprehend
Yes.
the reality.
Reality.
And now, when
The other way it cannot.
no, it cannot. But there appears to be some connection in the sense that when truth comprehends reality, reality goes true and straight. You see,
Yes.
so that it appears to be a connection at least one way.
Right, that's right. One-way connection. Yes. Truth loves this, this doesn't love truth.
But once it's straightened out, see, once the connection has been made, then this runs true.
Yes.
And does
Yes.
not waste energy
Yes.
and make
Yes.
confusion.
Now, what is the energy of truth?
So this doesn't answer this question. You ask first that a person who is living in relation with reality sees that he is fractionated and says, how am I to
Come from this to that. He cannot. No, sir. To realize that he cannot is truth.
so
Wait. To realize I am blind, that is truth. To realize from knowledge of all that, I cannot come to that. To see it, to feel it, to realize it, to vibrate with it. This thing, this is, cannot.
so he negates reality.
No,
Not negate.
It preserves it at the same time because
Yeah.
he negates its independence.
Yeah.
But reality is still there. But you see, could you look at it like this, that when we have seen up to a certain point, the principal barrier to the thing straightening out is the attempt of the
Right,
brain
right,
to
sir.
straighten itself out.
Sir, can we do this every weekend?
Yes, that would be a
Good.
good idea. Do you want to finish now?
What is
It's
time?
20 minutes to 5.
Can we do this every
Yeah.
weekend? Till the
Yeah.
end of June?
Yes.
Good. You see, sir, that's where I think meditation comes in.
Mhm.
You see, generally meditation is from here to there. Practice you all the rest of it. Move from this to that.
Right, so you move from one reality to another.
Ah, yeah. That's right, one reality to another reality. Quite right. And meditation is really seeing what is. I'm trying to. We'll discuss this another time. That's enough.
Right.
Let's do this every
All right.
This was fun. Yes, from moving from one reality to another is generally meditation. You better stop, don't you?
This is